Hello again. We have some breaking news for you. European Union leaders have unanimously agreed to provide 90 billion euros to Ukraine in the next 2 years. But the money will not come from frozen Russian assets. They've been discussing the issue at a meeting in Brussels. Step Vassen joins us now live from Brussels. Step, this meeting has gone late into the evening now. Members were split going into this. What more do we know about the decision they've made?
Well, it's now clear that the idea to use these frozen Russian assets to provide a loan to Ukraine is off the table. It didn't make it. So now the decision is to borrow money collectively in Europe, so on the private market, so-called Euro bonds, to give 90 billion euros to Ukraine for the next 2 years. Ukraine is in desperate need of finances. It will run out of money by April, so it was very clear that the EU wanted to make sure that this money is going to be provided, but they were very much hoping to be able to use these frozen assets by Russia, this billions of dollars of frozen Russian assets, many of them here stored in Brussels. But Belgium was very much against this. They have been negotiating deep into the early morning. Now it's 3 a.m. here. But Belgium basically won this battle because at the end the countries agreed that this was not the way forward. They will look into using these frozen Russian assets, according to the German Chancellor, after a peace deal. If, in the case, Russia doesn't want to pay reparations, they want to use the money then, but not, as they were hoping this morning, to use this money for a loan already. So this is the scenario that has played out after a very long meeting here in Brussels.
And Step, will this be enough to satisfy Ukraine at this point, at least in the short term, given that there doesn't seem to be a peace agreement in sight?
Well, if we're looking at the money and the amount, I think for the time being, Ukraine will be satisfied with that. But it was also hoping, Ukraine was hoping that the Russian assets would be used for this, because that would have sent a stronger signal to Russia. It was a lot more money. We're talking about more than $200 billion. It would have sent a strong message to Russia that Ukraine would be provided with money for much longer term, and also it would have sent a strong signal to Russia that their money was going to be used for Ukraine. So that is now off the table. Europe will have to borrow, and that's another issue because officially such a scheme will need unanimity. And we have now learned that they have decided that only 24 countries of the 27 will join in this collective borrowing, and they have 3 countries will stay out of it, among them Hungary, because otherwise they would have threatened to veto this. So it's a very complicated construction, but they managed to come up with this promise to Ukraine.
All right, Step Vassen live for us in Brussels with the news that European leaders will be giving Ukraine 90 billion euros in the next 2 years, but not from those frozen Russian assets. Thank you, Step.